Last week, I had the honor of talking with Moment Magazine's 2022 Creativity Award winner, Max Weinberg, drummer for Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band. We had a great conversation. The full interview will be made available later, but here's an excerpt followed by a touch of Max's musical genius. Hi, Max.
Well, hi, Nadine. Nice to be with you.
We're so excited to be giving you one of our Creativity Awards this year.
Well, I'm delighted. I'm honored to be receiving this award, particularly in the creative category, because that's what I've always tried to accomplish in both my personal and my professional life.
Well, how is Judaism connected to your music, or is it?
Well, I think all music is connected to the concept that I grew up with, and many of you will know, of course, is Tikkun Olam, a pathway, lighting the world, making the world better. Certainly in my later years, when at the age of 23, I hooked up with Bruce and the E Street Band. Bruce's music is certainly a beacon for freedom, for participation by everyone. So the idea that you can change the world through music, I have seen up close. I've seen how that is absolutely true. If from the drums, if for no other reason than just getting people up out of their seats to dance. And one thing I learned, when you're involved in a religious service, in a synagogue, in a church, in a cathedral, in a cave, anywhere, in a rock and roll concert, which is a religious experience for people, you're transformed, at the best of times. From the drums, if I'm able to get people out of their seat and dancing, that's a mitzvah. And I'll tell you why. Because when you're dancing, you're able to leave the world, the sort of mortal world, the practical world, whatever may be bothering you, and you're connected to something visceral, physical. And I felt that, and I didn't know it at the time, upon reflection, I'll be 72 soon, upon reflection, it was my own way of contributing to Tikkun Olam and exhibiting a life lived that way. I got extreme pleasure from watching people enjoy themselves. And I know that I was part, whatever level that I was performing in, I was part of that joy. That's why they call it playing.
Do you have a favorite piece of Jewish music? And it could be any genre, like a piece of music that you think people should know about that not enough people know about.
A piece of Jewish music that brings something to the world.
Yeah, any genre. It could be
Sure.
a prayer, could be a beat, could be a rhythm, it could be a...
Yes, well, there's the great Jewish composers from early Berlin to George Gershwin. When you listen to their music, it is all Eastern European. It's all derived from psalms and hymns, and it's instantly recognizable. If you get into it technically on a thematic, rather a theory level, there are modes of music. So, quote unquote, Jewish music has quite distinctive progressions and melodies. Certainly, for me, I loved, and it's changed quite a bit, but there are so many. So you can look at the great American composers for Jewish inspired music. There was a singing duo in the 50s, I guess they were, named the Barry Sisters. And they had a song called Sena Tsena, which as a child, I listened to that all the time because it was very upbeat, had a great rhythm. I recently recorded, not so recently, maybe 8 years ago, a song called Mazel. Mazel means good luck, right? And it's a Yiddish song from the Yiddish theater back in the 20s. So liturgically, when I listen to the prayers that if you're in temple on a Friday or Friday night or Saturday morning, and I always found very moving, particularly when I heard Rabbi Soltis intone it, the mourner's Kaddish, because there is a melody that goes with that. And usually in Reform temples, the melody isn't used. But our cantor, who was an opera singer back in the 50s and 60s, I remember his name, Herman Dansker, baritone, double baritone, and he would intone the mourner's Kaddish where there wasn't a dry eye in the house. And, you've heard it so many times, you've spoken along with it, you've intoned it with your fellow congregants, but when you read the translation of it, it is mourning, but it's so hopeful. And I can remember one other thing that, not specifically music, but at the end of each service, Rabbi Soltis, I get chills thinking of it, but in his robes and his head covering that was very, very high church attire, similar to what Greek Orthodox holy people would wear. He would, before he put the Torah back in the ark, he would turn around and he'd hold it up and he'd open it up, and he would say the words, "Behold, this is my covenant." And you didn't see his lips move because his back was to the congregation. And I'm actually getting a little weepy thinking about it, but he did it with such elan that as a child, you felt it was coming right from Adonai. Of course, I didn't, obviously it was just an impressive presentation, but it is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. And that was then, it was Good Shabbat. And that has stuck with me as a wonderful passage for all of us on earth to aspire to. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. So if you can't find music in that phrase, well, come to a Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band concert, and we'll try to educate you.
Thank you so much, Max. It's been such a pleasure to talk to you today.
Well, thank you, Nadine, and thank you to your associates and colleagues at Moment Magazine. I'm delighted to participate in this event, and I look forward to being with all of you in Washington, D.C.
My good friends at Moment Magazine have asked me to demonstrate the first rock beat I learned way back in 1960. And it goes something like this. I'm still playing that beat. Now, what I could do in 7th grade, 1963, I could play the song Wipeout, a surf song by the Safaris, on the drums. It was a drum solo. No one else could play that. And in the 7th grade talent show, I killed. So here's Wipeout. That was the beginning of my career, and I've been doing the same thing ever since.
Hey, Dad, it's your daughter. I just wanted to say congratulations on receiving the Creativity Award from Moment Magazine. This is so exciting. I know that our whole family is so proud of you and everything you have accomplished, and to be recognized by Moment Magazine in this way is truly special and so well deserved. So I'm thrilled to be celebrating this with you. Mazel tov.